I tried to set my little sister up with her crush. He's gay now, and somehow I'm the villain. That's the short version. Stick with me, because the long version is messier. And it happened almost a decade ago, back when I was 10 years old and thought I was doing something kind. Let me back up. I'm 19 now. My sister is 17. Growing up, we were close in the way a lot of sisters are, sharing a room for a while, fighting over the remote, but also covering for each other when we broke curfew. She's always been the quieter one, more private, the kind of person who keeps her feelings folded up small so nobody can poke at them. When I was 10 and she was 8, she had her first real crush, a boy in her class. I'm going to call him Jamie here because that's not his actual name, but everyone in this story will know who I mean if I use the real one, and that's not fair to him. My sister liked Jamie the way 8-year-olds like anyone, quietly, intensely, and with absolutely no plan of ever doing anything about it. She'd talk about him a little at home, nothing dramatic, just the occasional mention, the kind of thing an older sibling files away without really thinking about it. Here's the setup. One day, my sister was home sick from school. I was not. And at some point during that school day, I ended up talking to Jamie. I don't remember exactly how the conversation started. Kids talk to whoever's nearby. But at some point, 10-year-old me decided this was my moment to help my little sister out. So I asked him, point blank, did he have a crush on anyone? He said yes, but it wasn't my sister. It was another girl in their class. Now, a smarter 10-year-old, or really any 10-year-old with better judgment, would have left it there. I did not leave it there. I told him that if that other girl ever turned him down, he should, and I'm quoting myself as best I remember it, think of my sister, because she had a crush on him. That was it. That was the whole interaction. I don't think it lasted more than a minute. I went home that day and never said a word to my sister about any of it. Not because I was hiding something shameful. At the time, I genuinely didn't think it was a big deal. It felt like something a kid does and forgets. And I did forget. Completely. For 9 years. Fast forward to now. I'm 19, my sister is 17, and she recently joined a local amateur dramatics group. She'd been wanting to get into theater for a while, and I was genuinely happy for her when she signed up. It seemed like exactly the kind of thing that would be good for someone as private as her. A structured way to be a little bit loud, a little bit seen, with the script to hide behind. Guess who else is in that group? Jamie. All grown up now, comfortable in his own skin, and openly gay.
I want to be clear that this isn't a story about him doing anything wrong. From what my sisters told me, he's a genuinely nice guy in the group, well-liked, funny. Which is exactly why, at some rehearsal a few weeks ago, in front of other people, he brought up an old memory, laughing like it was a fun bit of nostalgia. He asked my sister if she remembered the time she asked her sister to ask him out. My sister said no. She had no idea what he was talking about. So he explained it, the whole thing. The sick day, me walking up to him at school, the conversation, the think of her line, all of it. Laid out in a rehearsal room in front of people my sister was still getting to know 9 years after it happened and had been completely forgotten by everyone except, apparently, Jamie. She came home that night furious. Not annoyed, furious. She wanted to know why I never told her why I'd gone and done that without asking her, and why she had to find out about it from him, in public, as some kind of funny anecdote. I'll be honest about how I reacted, because I think it matters for the judgment here. I laughed, not at her, at the situation. It struck me as genuinely funny, this little time capsule of a memory surfacing 9 years later, completely out of nowhere. I told her it was a sweet story, that 10-year-old me was just trying to help her, and that she should think it was funny too. She did not think it was funny. She called it embarrassing. She said I'd taken something private, something she never even chose to share with me in the first place, and put it out into the world without her permission or her knowledge. She said it wasn't my secret to tell, not back then, and not by staying silent about it for 9 years either, because that silence meant she had zero chance to prepare for it ever resurfacing. I told her she was overreacting, that this happened when we were kids, that no harm had actually come from it, and that getting this upset over a childhood crush nobody even remembered until a few weeks ago seemed like a lot of energy spent on nothing. That's when my parents got involved. My mom specifically sat me down and said I invaded my sister's privacy. That even at 10 years old, sharing someone else's feelings without asking was a boundary violation, and the fact that it happened so long ago didn't erase that. Both my parents think I owe her a real apology, not a sorry you're upset, but an actual acknowledgement that I did something I shouldn't have. I still don't think I owe her one. I was 10. I meant well. I never told anyone else, never brought it up myself, never used it against her. It resurfaced through no fault of mine 9 years later, through someone else's mouth entirely. I don't think a well-intentioned kid moment from a decade ago should follow me around as some unresolved offense I need to formally atone for.
My sister disagrees, my parents disagree, and now I'm the one being treated like I did something unforgivable over a conversation I barely remember having and definitely didn't think twice about until last month. So, Reddit, I'm asking you directly, am I the asshole? Here's how the verdict landed, and honestly, it was more one-sided than I expected. The overwhelming consensus was NTA, not the asshole. Commenters kept coming back to the same point. I was 10 years old. 10-year-olds do clumsy, well-meaning things without any real grasp of privacy or consequence, and holding that version of me to the same standard as an adult who deliberately outs someone's feelings just doesn't hold up. Several people pointed out that I never told my sister what I'd done, never used it as leverage, never brought it up again. I genuinely forgot about it, which is about as far as malicious as you can get. A lot of responses also focused on the timeline. 9 years is a long time. The person who actually caused the awkward moment in that rehearsal room was Jamie, by choosing to bring it up in front of other people as a joke. If anyone owes my sister an apology for the embarrassment, several commenters argued it's him, not a 10-year-old who no longer exists. There was a smaller thread of people who softened that a little, saying that even good intentions can cause real hurt, and that acknowledging my sister's feelings now, even without a full-blown apology, might smooth things over faster than digging in on being technically right. But even those comments stopped short of calling me the villain here. So, that's where it stands. My sister's still a little cold with me, my parents still think I should apologize, and I still think that somewhere between an anxious 10-year-old trying to play matchmaker and a grown man's fond little inside joke, nobody actually did anything wrong. It just took 9 years to catch up with us.